I know you might have had goals and targets you wanted to hit in May. Don't beat yourself if they did not come true. This is another chance for you to just go get them. This is June. Take your time, relax. Trust me, you have it under control. No pressure at all. No pressure. Welcome to Panorama. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. Panorama on Women Radio 91.7 runs from Mondays through Fridays at 12:15 p.m. My name is Esther Alaribe, and I have Ibinabo Dixon. Good afternoon, Ibinabo.
Yeah, good afternoon, Esther. It's good to be here. Good afternoon, valued listeners. Good
How are you doing
afternoon.
today?
I'm good. I'm good.
And I also have
Happy.
Buki Femi Ajala.
That I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good. I don't want to
You
accept
see it
it.
too. Okay.
What's
You know,
what's up? What's up? What's up? Tell
What's
us.
happening?
Yeah.
no, actually, I'm trying to. Yeah, I know that I was going to greet our listeners. Happy New
Our
Month.
esteemed, valuable.
Yes. you know,
Yes.
I'm very-
Come on.
very-
Never shine up now.
very expensive.
Hey, you're coming up now.
I hail on
Valuable ones. Esteemed.
Happy New Month of June.
Yes.
Highly
No,
sought after.
I have, sometimes when it is a new month, I begin to think who and who now, which person birthday,
Oh, yes.
so that I don't offend people.
True. And yes, Buki.
Yes, I'm doing great as usual. I'm doing great. I've learned to put my trust in God. Yes, I've learned to put my trust in God. Whatever the day brings, I know everything is in control.
Mm-hmm.
So happy new month. I mean, they're well sought after listeners.
Yeah. Feels good to be on Panorama again today. To be a part of the conversation, you can call us up on 07000 917 917 or 090 256 25455. You can also send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. You can listen to us live from any part of the world at www.wfm917.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Today is Global Day of Parents, and today we appreciate our parents for all the love, care, attention, and support that they have given to us over the years. I mean, the extra miles that parents go to ensure that their children are comfortable is really, really amazing. And we do not take your love for granted. In 2020, when the pandemic came, it was just like having kids around the house 24/7, no schools to go to, no lessons. Children were in the house with their parents. It wasn't easy, but here we are. Parents.
No work, more food.
Children running here and there in the house. Kudos to parents,
Yes, so
Yeah, true.
Happy Parents Day. Point 1. Point 2.
Okay.
This song. Ìyá ni wúrà iyebíye.
But are you
Baba ni jígì iyebíye.
I was about to say that.
Yes, I was going to. That's why.
Iṣẹ́ àwọn méjèèjì
Yes,
ni o.
iṣẹ́ ọmọ pọ̀.
I don't know that.
Iṣẹ́ ọmọ le.
Whatever.
Iṣẹ́ ọmọ pọ̀ ọmọ ara.
Okay, now. Okay.
Those days.
No, but I love the one for Iya. I love the one for Iya. But let's not take side today.
No.
So,
no.
Yeah, it's
because
for parents.
I can't even afford to because
Yes.
me, I was daddy's girl.
Yeah.
So hey, now
Yeah.
Papa Ibinabo. I mean, it was so interesting because I wasn't the first, I wasn't the second.
Yeah.
So I kept wondering, why are you calling my father Papa Ibinabo? After that, I guess senior ones, you understand?
Yeah, something just sticks,
But
Something
then
just
again,
sticks, yes.
that I
So
really, I like it. I was like, yes.
But kudos to parents. Kudos to parents.
It's a lot
I mean,
of work.
it says parenting is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development.
It's a lot.
No retirement.
Intellectual development of a child
now.
from infancy to adulthood. So everything about the child, physical, emotional, social, and intellectual, everything God has given parents that assignment,
Hmm.
that responsibility. Kudos to parents.
Yeah, true.
And not just
Where's our
biological,
shekere?
and not just biological parents.
To roll our
But let's
shekere,
talk to
yes.
about the foster parents,
To roll our-
mentors,
yes.
you know, people that guide the guidance, you know, people that just take the role of parents,
Exactly.
teachers, you know,
Exactly.
in the lives of children. We celebrate you today.
Yes.
And I want to appreciate our good teachers
Yes.
in
Teachers
the
do a lot
schools
too.
because they take the role of a parent while the child is
Is
in
in
school.
school.
So I want to roll my shekere again to all those teachers, all those good teachers. Oh, I'm not talking about teachers who are who don't come through for the students and the pupils.
Okay, so we should even say good parents.
Yes, because we have
Parents.
planting parents. We have parents who have abdicated their responsibilities to
Talking about
others.
parents, talking about good parents. You know, sometimes when a child says something and you're trying to find out, okay, maybe it's the parents are just like that. When you listen to the parent has another thing to say, contrary to what the child has said. Now, what would be your message even about to parents who are trying so hard to just create this bond, like they have this disconnect from their children, they cannot relate?
What I would say is don't relent.
Okay.
You know, I mean, keep doing it. Keep looking for the best way to, you know, interact with your some I've had cases you are very close. It's like this child, even if you even going to work is like more so during holidays. It's like more so during holidays. It's like, Mom, you don't go to work. Let us all spend the holidays together. I should not collect my salary. Abi. You understand? But when they grow older, some of them, not all of them, when they grow older, whatever happens to them, they maybe school, maybe university, maybe boarding house.
They have their mind of
You
their own
understand?
and all of that.
A lot of infiltration here and there. The social media, everything, the environment, the friends, and all and all and all. So at a point, they don't look like what you used to know. You understand? But then don't give up, because understand that there will always be infiltration. If you don't stop pumping in, if you don't stop, you know, the flow from you to them over the period, whatever has infiltrated will find its way out.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? Don't relent.
And then there was a seminar I was in, and the gentleman was trying to say the phases of parenting. That there are times you will give instruction. When they get to another age, right, what they are looking for is somebody to guide. They don't need your instruction at that time. It is to guide. And then it comes to another stage where you are friends. So it is for parents to know, okay, my daughter or my son, where I am in this phase. But generally speaking, we've often said it here that parenting starts from from your belly. You understand? But you step it up when the baby comes, you know, out of your womb. And then by the time you begin to communicate, not necessarily verbal, you can all, you know, there are ways God has done these things. When you begin to communicate to the child, that is when you begin to bond. But just in case we missed it, that is not the final, you know, it's not the final sentence. There are many ways you can amend. For instance, somebody was saying that if you're the type that you'll always ask the child, particularly teenagers, you know, or young adults, come to my room, I want to see you, or come. No. If you want an engagement, go to their room and sit with them. Do some stuff with them right inside their space. Take them out. I mean, just say, okay, you know what, me and you want to have a stroll today. You understand? You know, so you need to know your child and know what can click. There are some that will open up to you when you say, you know what, I want to give lunch to your friends, just be your close friends. Let's just dance, you know. So there are many ways of you breaking the barrier just in case you missed it. But for those who did not miss it, kudos to you. Keep it up, engage them, know when they need you as a guide, and know when they need you as a friend.
Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ambrose. Welcome to Panorama.
Good afternoon, educationist and bookie.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Happy Parent Day.
Yeah, I was about saying that.
Happy New Month.
Yeah.
You see, it's you.
It's not. It's not.
It's not to.
Uh,
Now container I
I
bring.
have children now, two of them, and one of them is about to enter, and they have different characters.
Mm.
And you just discover that you brought them up the same way.
Yeah.
It's not as if you didn't discipline them.
mm-hmm.
Just like what Buki is saying now. My senior son character is totally different. My senior daughter character is totally different. Sometimes you just don't, in fact, you just have to be praying for them. Because they have this mindset that once I am 18, I am an adult. You know? And the way, if you fit to the way probably Nabok is bringing up her children, you say you want to bring up your children that same way, it won't work.
Okay.
It just won't work because the characters that children exhibit is how you follow them up. You know, honestly, they say the little pig was asking the mother, why is your mouth, your nose long? He said, don't worry, when time comes, you understand.
True, very
I
true.
understand
Absolutely.
better now. Initially, when I was much younger, I would see parents that say, this one not training picking well.
There's nothing like that. Yes.
That's God. Just let us be praying for these children. And when they get to a certain stage, let us, like Puki said, call them, you sit down, you talk together. You remember that child, that boy that killed the father in the camp? I learned that the father said because he's stubborn, he wants to bring him near him so that he can monitor him. And the boy at that time had more strength than the father, and he butchered him like meat. You know?
So sad.
It is not easy. I know what I'm saying. I'm telling you. It's not as if I have any child that kills. It's not as if I have any child that is but it's not easy. It's not
Absolutely. Because they tend to have they tend to have their own dispositions to life, and it's for you to know what best. That is the angle.
Yes, and you know one thing that I tell people.
Okay.
Except I'm very sure. I would never say that if you bring up your child in the right way,
The child will not go astray.
it's not true. It is absolutely not true. You can do everything that in the rule book and even from everywhere to do everything for a child. The child can grow up and choose to be who he or she wants to be. Are you getting it? Maybe later in life, when the child is much older. And the child has seen that, I've gone astray. You see, each time I tell people this, and when they say, no, I said, no, because yours are not giving you headache, does not mean those whose children are giving them headache did not bring their children up well. Now, I always send them back to the Holy Book, the story of the prodigal son.
Okay.
Remember that he had an older brother.
Yes.
I mean, all of them grew up under the tutelage of their father.
Yes.
And he just woke up one day and said, Baba,
wants to leave.
I won't find my level, I'll be with my share. Are you getting it? So are we going to say that the man was training the two of them differently? Are you getting it? So you see, this comes to the point where we should understand as parents that assimilation of instruction is not the same. Some children, you only need to look at them and they don't want, they are correcting everything they are doing wrong.
Yes.
Some other children even carry koboko. It's like, you go keep person now,
what would you do?
Are you getting it? So at different stages, we need to help our parents too. So today is Parents' Day. So I'm standing in the stead of parents, and I'm appealing to
children,
more so our youth who feel that a lot. Let's be sincere with ourselves.
Okay.
A lot of issues parents are having with their children is because of what they go to check on social media. Then the movies they watch. I remember a little girl. She's about 4 years now. I was in their house, I was in their living room, and very lovely, very sweet little girl. So I think her mom told her to stop doing something. She will stop for a moment and she will do it again. So my mom had to, hit her with something. I mean, something very light. And she said, "Mommy, why did you just hit me?" And she just marched out, bang, 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 and banged the bagam and left. I went to her room. Do you understand? 4-year-old. And I told him, and this girl is always engrossed with cartoon, all those little children's. See, you see it a lot there. When, all these mommy will say, "Leave me alone, leave me alone. I want to be alone." Yeah, you understand? And then they just march out and bang the door, bagam. Out of this.
Welcome
and she feels that is the right way to respond when you are angry at your parent. Are you getting it? So at some of these problems, we created them ourselves as parents. Because when you expose yourself to your children, okay, cartoon, now go on the cable network and let them watch cartoon so that I can have my peace. Are you getting it? And I know a family where mostly she's a young woman, but I think she is coming from somewhere and she determined to make a difference. She said she deliberately did not bring anything. Whatever you're going to watch will be a video, will be on the video in her house. When it comes to TV, the one that you can view is in her room. Any other one is you have to slot in the CD to watch. So she monitored everything. And the school that the children would attend, she had to understand what was obtainable there before she enrolled her children. So you see, sometimes I think as parents, I know that at the end of the day, the child will still make a choice.
True.
But before then, let us, because me, I don't have a 5-year-old. I have a little girl, but she's not 5. Are you getting it? I'm looking at parents who have very little children. Please start off now.
Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
I beg, make my move very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, based on what Ivana was just saying, I know of a girl. They attended the same school with my children. Most expensive school in the way here. They call the school still lad. This girl, the parents are deep alive. See this girl when she was in secondary school. Everything, this girl, talk holiness, talk of dress code. The moment this girl entered the university, they came to tell the parents that this girl's dressing mode has changed. She has hot micro mini. We do this, she will do that. Just to buttress what she's saying. At the end of the day the parents went, they didn't believe what they saw. So obviously, that is the lifestyle that this girl wanted to live. Like if you never said, "Do you now carry her and begin to cane her?" You can't cane her. You can't beat her because at that time, if the more you try to cane or beat her, the more you add to the problem. It won't solve anything because that is just her. So, and if you also make something very fundamental, let us continue to talk to them. Let us continue to pray to them. They will get to a certain stage in their life. They will begin to reminisce and say, "Okay, these are what my parents stood for." So I just wanted to, honestly, I'm very emotional about these things because I honestly, these children, oh God, even by the grace of God, I'm a pastor. So when I'm talking, not just my children, but even all my members, their children, when you see the way some of them, they will just leave home. Not that their parents drove them away from home. That's why I have one of my kids. He comes soon, you are not going to sleep in this house. I will still open door for him. Because if I lock that door against him, I don't know where he will find sleep.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. Thank you.
So it's a very, God
with all that has been said, even with what Mr. Ambrose has said, it shows that sometimes when you train up a child and the child turns out the other way, it's not the fault of the parents.
Not all.
Now, let's look at this story. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has said that parents of children convicted for causing will also face some kind of actions and all of that. For a parent who has done so much in raising a child, and the child goes the other way after talking to this child so many times and all of that, and I still get to face some kind of actions because of what my child has done, this same actions that I corrected this child so many times about, and I still get to face some kind of treatment that I'm not supposed to go to. What do you think about this?
Okay, before I answer that, I want us to look at this issue of train up the child from another perspective.
Okay.
So that we can look at it from a 360 degree.
Okay.
The issue of train up a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we look at it in the Bible, what it actually says, it says, train up a child in the way he, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we look at it in the Bible, what it actually says, it says, train up a child in the way he should go.
Okay.
So that he should go means that you, as a parent, you understand the personality of that child. So if the personality of that child is, let's say, a type A,
Okay.
and you are using a measure of type B for that child, it will not work. And that is why you find out that there's some personality, there's some children personality. I don't want us to delve into personality because that is not the anchor of today. You understand?
Yes.
But let me just take some personalities that all what they want from you when they make a mistake is to say, oh, Shola, I'm not happy with what you did. And immediately you say, oh, really? Did I do something wrong? I'm sorry. But there are some personality that they want you to drum it and use koboko to beat them. So if you now use koboko for that other person, you are damaging the emotional state of that person. So it is a whole lot of things. And this is where I believe you need the help of the Holy Spirit. You need the help of God to say, who is this child and how do I train this child up? There are some of my children that all I need to do is my eye. And I say, once I move from left to right, they understand.
Yes.
There are some that I have to sit that person down and say, excuse me, we got to talk. I mean, yes, they're young adults now, but it's just to understand their personality types and deal with them the way it is. Like the example our caller gave.
Yes.
Obviously, if you go down memory, if we are to do a research, somewhere along the line, you might think you are giving them everything they want, but you have damaged their emotional state of mind.
I don't agree.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me land. But like I said, let's look at it from both angles.
Yes.
Let's look at it from both angles. So you will now know which one suits you.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I want us to look at it, because that is my own perception, which is different from Nabozo. It will always be anyway, So like that, because I have
no. I'm going to interject because we don't have all the time. You see, I must interject because you see, every parent would give birth to a child as a little baby.
Okay.
You don't give it to an adult. Are you getting it? I'm not saying that. What you have said is, I'm not saying it is not right. We have to be mindful of how we judge parents.
Yeah, I'm not judging. Hold on, I'm not judging. I'm only telling parents that look at it holistically.
Yes.
Children are different.
We have said
yes. So
we have said it.
I'm not saying that if your child turns out bad, I'm not saying beat yourself on that.
No.
That is why we're saying that parenting continues.
That is
understand?
That is why I brought in the story of the prodigal son.
If you have lived
the father.
I totally agree with you on that.
Okay.
If you have laid a good foundation and you have taught them about decision-making skills and critical thinking skills when they are young, obviously not all of them would use it, but there will be a reckoning time in their life because you have deposited that seed in them.
So that reckoning time is when
exactly. That's when they will come.
Because sometimes
it can be late.
Like I remember those days.
But you have
those days when they used to take armed robbers to the firing squad. When they are sentenced to firing squad. They take them there and they make it an open thing. People go there and watch while they shoot them to kill them for the crime they have committed. Now, they usually give them a moment to give their last words. Some of them will tell you, and my parents told me, but I felt okay. They were
And some
too weak.
and
Some would
my
tell you that,
parents,
yes,
exactly.
and some would say that, but my parents, each time I was doing this thing, they were hailing me. Are you getting it? So the point I'm trying to make is that, you see, I have seen a case where a woman became totally against herself because of the outcome, the display of some of our children. Are you getting it? So I mean, we have had parents who have become depressed because of what their children have turned out to be. And I'm saying to them, if you feel that, okay, you did your best, fine.
Don't beat yourself.
Just take it easy and keep praying for them.
But we are only saying
they will get a moment of reckoning. It may be when they are 40, when they are 20.
It will come. If you have put that seed in there,
it will come.
If you have put that seed in there.
So my point is there's a general note that some parents, some people tell you, and if you look at people who are always standing on that point, it's because maybe they have one child, or maybe they have two, unfortunately for them, or maybe they even have children that, you know, sometimes it's like,
let's hear this caller.
Good afternoon. This is Mr. Sunday calling from Ogun State here.
Mr. Tunde.
Osunde. Good caller.
Yes,
welcome to Panorama.
Yeah. I don't have much to say in addition to what Mr. Ambrose has just said. And what you just said, some children complain that their parents never told them. Yes, I used to be in the defunct Delhi Times.
Okay.
I covered one of the Babbage executions. Then they asked one of the robbers, what has he got to say? He said they want to speak to the mother. I don't know if you people are aware of that. I covered it. The mother there, they asked the mother to go and hear what
he has to say.
They said they want to whisper something to her. When the mother got close, he beat her ear.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. We heard about that.
Yeah,
years
he
ago.
never told me that he never told him that what he was doing is wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I think the bottom line, I mean, I will always go with what the word of God says. Train up the child in the way he or she should go. I think that nails everything.
So on this, we said so much, and I'm very sure that parents will pick up one or two and make amends with their children where they feel they can get to know your children more, know what works for each child, and so you don't end up putting some kind of attention on the other child and causing damage to the other child. Now, still today on Panorama, we're still going to discuss the plight of the average Nigerian youth. Now, looking at so many things that have been happening, the height of insecurity, our state, the economy, Nigerian youth we celebrate you. Celebrate it because it's actually not easy.
It's not.
It is not. Because looking at peer pressure from family, from friends, and people are still struggling, going out every day to make ends meet, and you get maybe a family member, somebody telling you, "Oh, you're not doing enough for your age." It's somehow sometimes.
Okay, looking at Nigerian youth, let's go to what the governor of Lagos said about punishing parents for the crime of their children or child. Yes, the Lagos state is an exemplary state in Nigeria. They are they are the forefront, bringing new innovation and everything. But you see, on this very note, I am not going to totally agree with the governor because you see, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good can end up trying to make a child good, and the child ends up being bad.
The other way.
Then it is enough frustration on the good parents. Again, the governor will now come and heap another punishment. It is not fair enough. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we have very, very high level of cultism now. If you trace it back, going to the root of it, I would say that the majority of the reason should rest upon the economy. Why am I saying this? You live in an environment, you don't have enough money as a parent to feed your children because of the economy. Then there are these brothers or somebody around coming with a Trojan horse kind of help You know, when you come to Trojan horse kind of help, the person you are giving the help to does not even know. All they are doing is collecting that help you are rendering. You understand?
At that time.
Meanwhile, your child, who probably you have not been able to feed very well, because you see, when there is poverty, as a child, you start experiencing it from home. That is the first place you experience poverty. If there's poverty in the land and your parents happen to be in that category, you experience it from home. So when anybody brings any help to the family, you see the person as a messiah. And in most cases, they bring this help in some areas. What they are bringing is Trojan horse. This child becomes very used to this person. They appreciate you are respected. So even your child is allowed to go and spend some time with this person. And then maybe this person is a cultist. They initiate this child, assuring you that, don't worry, if you join us, food matter, it don't end. Are you getting it? Look at little children in primary. Okay, why would a child in primary school want to be a cultist? I mean, what do you gain from it? You are still staying with your parents. It's not like you are staying with these people. You are still staying with your parents. So they're simply using them, you understand, to perpetrate their evil act. And as a parent, you may not know. They would have probably said something to the child that if you tell your, you know, I'm giving you people food. If you say anything to them, hunger will kill you people. Are you getting it? So for that child, it's okay. When you have been hungry before, you don't want to go back there. So for that, the child will just try to cooperate. So we need to, for every child that is that probably has been caught in the act, I would prefer that the governor would encourage an extensive investigation into the child's background. The parents do well, fine, but it's not every parent. Some, because our parents have abdicated a responsibility to other people to do for them. So don't put parents on a precipice, because it is not fair. It is not fair, absolutely.
Buki, so what would be your message to the Nigerian youth?
Well, to the Nigerian youth, let me talk about this bill that has been signed into.
Okay.
I'm not too sure the job, in the sense that they have not educated, they have not created to Lagosians. Go, you know, to Lagosians. Any average woman, any average parent, is the person aware of this bill? And two, what is this punishment that you want to mete out? What is it? We want to know. It has been signed into law. So it is only if we now come again and say we want to pass another bill. But now, let us even know. My own also is, was there a research done that they have traced that 80% of the people that had been caught was traced to bad parenting? Was there a research done? I am interested. Or they're just taking it on the surface that it is because their parents did not. Well. Exactly. You understand? So that we can attack it in the right place. So that we are not attacking symptoms. Let us attack the disease. One of the things is what Ibn Abbas mentioned, the economy. And that's the truth. Because of that, we have lost our values. And that's the truth. So let us even know, how do you want to go about it? And then if you catch a cultist or whatever it is, what is the process? When you find out that, yes, it is the parents that brought about, I totally agree. Do whatever you want to do. But when you find out that it's not the parent, you have not come out to tell us that. And then the role of the teachers, community leaders, influencers, is it part of the bill? I'm not too sure. These are questions needs answer. That's why I said they have not come out to educate. Then, peradventure, they caught children of the rich and the politician. Will they mete out the same
punishment to their parents?
Are they going to apply, or they are going to interpret?
So please, let's ask them that question. But to the Nigerian youth, I'll just talk generally. I know somewhere along the line we'll probably say, oh, maybe the adults have failed them, because in our national anthem we say, help the youth the truth to know. But even if you say not everybody had done that, the few people that are still talking, that are still training the youth, are you listening to them? Or you just decide to do your own? So in this day and age, you cannot say you don't know as a youth. Even if your so-called biological parents are not there, there are a lot of pseudo parents, mentors, guidance, NGOs, religious organizations that are taking up that space. Even on social media that we're talking of, every day I keep seeing series of engagements where your mind is reformed, leadership skills, quite a lot of youth engagements. Are you for it? Or you just decide to go and do the one that is bad on social media? So do the one that is good.
And also I would say that government should not misunderstand the fact that, taking responsibility for the state is a good step. We cannot keep the perpetuity of autism and say, okay, don't blame my parents and everything, but whatever they are going to do, let it be done. And say, okay, don't blame my parents and everything, but whatever they are going to do, let it be done properly. Because I remember when Governor Fashola was the governor, he made a pronouncement, because then police men were in the habit of, if they go to a house to arrest a boy or a girl who probably has been found culpable for whatever, maybe there at least there's an allegation, and they don't find this person, they'll pick the parents. So and you know how much the parents will spend to try to free themselves from the claws, let me use that word, of these police officers. So now with this pronouncement from the government, with this bill signed into law that the Lagos government have brought about, I can't begin to imagine what the Nigerian police or our security operators are going to be putting parents through.
That's right.
Are you getting it? They can just come to a house now and say, they said one boy here is a cultist.
Exactly.
Where is he? Maybe the boy is not even a cultist. They just carry the parents to
They
the
now have
police
to
station.
abuse the
We have to, you see, we are Nigerians, we know ourselves. Each time we're going to bring about any bill, and the way we are and the way we operate and work, around it to bring about the best way to, handle situations. Yes, I grasp what the governor has said. I'm not discarding it, but how are we going to interpret it? Because I'm not discarding it, but how are we going to interpret it? Because I know whatever made Governor Fashola then to come out and warn Nigerian police force.
Yes. He has seen something.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So are we going back to those days?
Yes.
Where policemen will just come to the house, when they say that, okay, I'm broke. Okay, this house is like, I used to see one naughty boy here. They come and ask for him that. They say this and that, and they will just carry the parents.
And then just another thing that just struck me, because I know we're rounding up now. It's still about that bill.
Okay.
Have they made a provision, Lagos State now, that just in case as a parent you have done everything you need to do to this guy or to this boy or this child, and yet is still in the cult and blah blah blah, have they made a provision where such parents can actually go and log that complaint? Why am I saying this?
Okay.
So that the day Kasala go bust, the parent will be able to say, I logged, though, I did all my best, though. You understand? But he or she refused.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much. I'm very sure that parents out there have been able to pick one or two things. Let's try as much as possible to mend our relationship with our children. Just create that. Know what works for each child. It's not a one shoe one. Thank you so much, Ibinabo. Thank you, Buki. And to you, my listener, thank you for your call and contribution. And to my producer, Daniel Adaja, thank you. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. Panorama on Women Radio 91.7 runs from Mondays through Fridays at 12:15 p.m. Do well to join us tomorrow. Please stay safe out there. My name is Esther Alaribi. Up next is the Launch Hour Tunes at 2 p.m. is towards an inclusive governance series on political
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
Plenty women they talk say